Hey, good morning. It's Saturday, December 17th. It's Wright Brothers Day. It's the 119th anniversary of the first flight. So yeah, here we are. No better day than to work on an airplane, right? Today we are continuing on with some Firewall stuff. We've got we want to thank Randy. Randy sent me a copper bar that we'll use to connect that battery main and the starter solenoid. And we've got, let's see, what else did we get? Oh, we got a wire harness from the avionics shop. That we already had that. They had to do a little modification to it to work with the ignition boxes. It's for the RPM output from the ignition boxes. They had to do a modification to that, so we've got that on hand. And they gave us a shelf for our cage fuselage here. This isn't clamped down or anything, but this is what it looks like. And they made it out of 80 thousandths, so it's a pretty stout shelf that we've got in here. We'll use some clamps or cushion clamps or whatever to fix it to these tubes, the tubing in there, and we'll figure out where we're going to put components on there, and we'll get nut plates prepped up and installed for that. So we got that. Got a little Christmas going on here. Got Rudolph in the airplane. What else?
Little reindeer.
Oh, we got a little reindeer over there and a bow. Couple snowmen on the table. So yeah. Anything else that we got going on?
We're gonna do the fuse thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll look at gonna do that 60 amp fusible link on the front with the ammeter shunt. I'll look at that also. So and continue working on the heat shield. So yeah, here we go. One thing I did on this heater valve, probably saw in the last video I put just a little smear, just a real thin smear of red RTV on this valve, so that when it opens it just gets a little seal around there. And I did the same thing on the other side of that valve. Oh, you really see it? Did the same thing there, put a little smear on it so that it puts a little better seal against that inlet into the cabin. But what I noticed when we bolted this down, when we got this out of the box, there's a little bit of a gap between this top layer of this stainless here and then the bottom layer where that pass-through is welded. There's a little bit of a gap there, and so we got this all prepped up and we bolted this on, and when we bolted it in, we noticed that that valve was stuck open about that far. And so at first I thought maybe I had got a glob of RTV in behind there, and so I tried scraping some of that off on the back side, and it still did the same thing, and got to the point where it was contacting the metal. So it was metal, the metal valve was contacting that inlet, and it was still hanging open. Discovered that little gap in there, when this bolted down, it pushes this against that inlet, and this side of that flapper valve pushes against that little piece of pipe, and so it hangs open. So I found that if we could, I've got some stainless, some thin stainless, and I'm going to make a shim. I'm going to put a shim in between those two layers right there, and that seems to help it out. So I got some of our scrap stainless, and going to cut that out and give it a fit up and see how it does. Okay, we got this kind of fixed up here. What I did was I took a piece of, I've got some scrap 35,000 stainless, and you can see I left a little bit of it sticking out there. I might clean that up. But put that right in between these two pieces of this heater valve. And that brought this back out just enough so that this door, this little flapper door, now closes all the way. Thought I was seeing a gap in there. It's just a reflection through here. So this closes all the way now with no problem, and it opens up. And it's got a little bit of a seal around there. I talked about that earlier. Just put just a smear of red on there. But there you go. So something to consider maybe is a shim right in there. I suppose it depends on how that was put together. Like I said, ours had a gap in there when we took it out of the box, and obviously it caused a fit issue with that valve. But yep, got that resolved. We've got our fuel flow transducer here. This is the EI International, or no, EI Incorporated. So Electronics International, fuel flow transducer. This is an FT60 that we're going to be using, and we do need to fabricate a little mount bracket for it to go on the firewall. So I measured this out, coming up with about 3.4 inches on that length there. The holes on the top of it, the mount holes, are AN4s. And so we'll use AN4s through that. We'll do an AN3 through the firewall with some the big washers on the back side of the firewall. So we'll get that done. Got the holes drilled for this, what is it? FT60 fuel flow transducer. And if you're making a bracket for it, FYI, that is 1.4 inches on center for those holes, and it's an AN4. Today's weather check brought to you by Old Man Winter. It's a little chilly out here. It's a nice day, but chilly, breezy. We're in for some really cold temperatures this week, so I'm guessing we might not be up during the week. We'll see. But there you go. We're done for today, and as you saw, we got some work done on, let's see, fix that heater valve there, so that's closing properly, or opening, I don't know, opening or closing, opening and closing properly. We did the fuel flow transducer mount fabrication there, used that piece of angle iron for that, angle iron, that aluminum, it's not iron. I didn't really show this. I did put a copper, connector bar, copper bar, between the output side of the main battery relay and the input side of the starter relay. So I did that, just put a piece of heat shrink on there, and so it just covers that up. Also did cutouts and holes for the ammeter shunt and the 60 amp fusible link. But was there something else you said we did?
The air cabin heat.
Yeah, did that. I already talked about that one already.
We did the cabin heat.
And
then we made the thing. And then we installed
Got
these. and I
that,
started
did
these.
that, okay, cool. Hey, well, that's what we did. So, yep, should be back up tomorrow. We didn't get up here this week like we had wanted to, as the weather's been really cruddy here. And just pre-Christmas stuff, a lot of stuff going on at home, got stuff going on at work, so I've been super busy, but anyways. Hey, thanks for watching, have a good evening, and that's it for now.